This thing? This.
Right
for sure.
now.
This thing?
We're live.
No, this thing.
Oh,
that is
Okay, we're gonna call this,
Camera days.
what's that?
It just.
I was gonna say
the
something
camera
like we're
has
gonna
to
call
be-
this circus to order, but that's probably not right.
Then I need to hit
How are
this.
you?
Mike's on.
This is your seat. This
That's
is
me.
your seat. We got you all set.
This one?
That one.
All right, so we will call the St. Joseph Downtown Development Authority meeting for August 4th. Tomorrow's my anniversary, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
What a beautiful day.
400 years, same woman, no less.
We actually planned it.
So this is also Robert's anniversary
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Our anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah.
and mine's the 6th.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So, very good. So we'll call things to order at 8:31. Welcome, everyone. I was thinking, so I always think about things when we get into this, and the email I enjoyed the most that I received of late was from Tammy.
Mhm.
Tammy's not here,
It was
telling us about all the
fabulous.
new visitors coming because of our new signs.
Yeah.
Did you read this? It's
Yeah,
it's
it was
terrific.
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was terrific. So I thought that was great.
Really?
And just right on cue, Chalk the Block it was
That was
incredible.
unbelievable.
I was overwhelmed by the people. I mean, that's a busy thing all the time anyway, but the weather, right? You know, we talk
Weather
about
makes a
we talk about the weather and sometimes it affected, that was fabulous. So anyway, congratulations to your organization for putting that on. It was outstanding.
Yeah, the quality of the artist. was
Oh, my
really-
God.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, it's always been great.
Yeah,
but I
right.
mean, it was really impressive this year.
I-
Super talented people.
We were really happy with it.
Was that?
We were really happy with it.
No,
bet.
what?
I said 10 out of 10.
Oh, 10 out of
10,
yeah.
yeah.
5 stars.
Whoever had the idea for the cube at Court Place
Right.
Plaza,
Yeah.
great idea.
Cool.
Yeah, that was super, super cool.
Yeah, we love it. We'd like to do more than one next year.
What, I was curious, what are you doing with those big boards?
Bless you.
When I was walking around, I was looking around, I was thinking, what can you do with these things? They're beautiful.
We'd love to keep them up for as long as possible, but I think we'll auction them off, do a silent auction.
Ah.
Through Fall Fest.
Okay,
Um,
all right, that's cool.
for 20.
Are they like weatherproof or,
We're gonna clear coat them.
oh, clear coat, of course.
Try to get
All right,
as resilient as possible.
We have one from a couple years ago that are not painted at our house.
Yeah.
They used to auction them off
Oh.
with the,
cool. Yeah, they're like they used to auction off the art things. I thought that was cool. Okay, so let's move on here. Minutes. Minutes from our last meeting, been expertly prepared by Kelly. I know we've all read through them in great detail. Anything in there we need to adjust or amend? I think they looked pretty good, actually.
I had a correction. I believe I was credited for a motion I didn't make because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
That's how good you are, Sue.
Well, I was
Right.
with
You
you in
weren't-
spirit. I
you
was
weren't-
in
you weren't even here.
Warsaw,
I'm the
Poland, but I,
seconder on this one.
Telepathic.
Where is it?
Yeah.
okay,
The
the second,
third.
page,
Number
page
3.
3 at the
The very
top.
top,
Yeah.
the seconder.
Oh, wow.
Well, and were you,
Item number 3.
The mover on.
At the top of page
He
3.
was showing his
Oh,
absence.
yeah,
yeah, she was.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
I
yeah.
knew
I
I
didn't-
wasn't here, so I didn't notice that she
Yeah.
wasn't. I read them
All right,
very closely, but can't comment
Thank
because I
you.
wasn't here. so.
gotcha. Can we get a motion to approve those as amended?
So moved.
Yeah, second.
I'd like
Yes.
to make
Oh.
a correction on
Sure.
number 8, the camp to the DDA board.
Yes,
I don't remember that we made a motion to recommend that we expand to 11 members. I thought we talked about doing the interview and based upon the candidates, the interview.
Yeah, right.
How the interview
That's right.
process was going, that we would then bring that back to it, but we were not making a.
we didn't make the motion.
I did put in here that said no action.
Yeah.
taken on the motion.
It was a little confusing because then
Yeah,
it said
I know, and I
motion.
put-
Just,
I needed
just
to
strike,
change.
just strike that line, I
Yep.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just how
Okay.
Minitrack loads things.
Yep,
So that's
yep,
why I put the.
yep.
no action.
no problem. I think we're on the same page there, right?
Yep, that's in the, yep.
All right, so we got a motion to approve as amended. We got a second there? Somebody? Second, Chris? All right. Any other discussion on that? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No opposed. Okay, motion carried. Financial reports, we have our usual summary in our packet on page 6. Our fiscal year ended as of the end of June. And Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong, so we're not quite final, but we suspect that this is pretty close to final.
So these
Yeah.
are.
I'm
These are
sorry?
the exact same minutes or financials as
Okay.
last month.
Okay,
Because our meeting was just like 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
Ben
Okay.
said, once we complete everything,
right.
we'll get everything finalized. So I'm hoping by the September meeting.
Okay, so next time maybe we start putting in the
Correct.
new
Yep.
fiscal year
That's what I
stuff,
hope.
you know, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The question I had is, on this capital, I think we talked about this previously. So on this capital, did we need to get, some approval to roll the capital, and has that been done? No.
So last year we waited until the audit was complete.
Ah,
Exact number and to roll it. And I want to say we did it midway through the year. It was like December,
Okay.
January.
Oh. we can assume it's probably gonna roll, huh?
I think so. We have
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
had
yeah,
any issue rolling it in the
Yep,
past.
yep,
So I think that's right. We could do it, we could probably do it sooner if we wanted to just maybe round down a bit to be safe. I'd want to work with Ben on
Yeah,
that
sure,
and get
sure,
to a
sure,
number
sure.
he'd be comfortable with.
yep.
But last time we waited till we were sure of exactly what the number was and then
Okay.
we moved forward.
Well, yeah, I think it's somewhat critical because we have all the wayfinding bills are coming, right?
Yes.
I imagine they're all starting to hit.
Well, those should be from last fiscal year?
We have one, 2/3 of them have been paid. Now the installation is done. We'll have the final one, I would
Okay.
assume anytime now.
So-
the
Those look
consultants are-
great.
Yeah, they're terrific.
They
So-
really do look nice.
Aren't they
So
nice?
maybe next time we update this
Yep.
for what's
Yeah.
been paid and all that good stuff. Okay,
Two of the 3 payments are pulled out of those.
Mm.
So,
And then will the third be fiscal 26 or fiscal 25? I think they worked into July, so probably fiscal 26.
I would think, yeah.
I'm assuming that they're coming in as we expect. Yeah,
We are right on
Okay.
track. So I don't think there
Great.
were any issues with installation or, no
Yep.
surprises that I heard about, so.
Yep. Okay, any discussion on the financials, questions, comments, anything? Okay, can we get a motion to approve the financial report?
So moved.
Second? Thank you. Any more discussion on that? Okay, all in favor of approving the
That was
financial
the-
report, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? All right, that's approved. Okay, moving right along, we have a slew of updates here that Kelly is gonna enlighten us on. So we're starting with the old TIF,
Yes.
the old TIF update. So Kelly, tell us about the TIF.
Yep, so at the last commission meeting, which was on the 28th, we did, commission approved the creation of the Resident Advisory Council. We have 13 people interested, and I'm just
Great.
talking with, Commissioners Fernandez and Binkley on interviewing and getting that done. That had to be created 90 days before we take the TIF to commission, right? So the timeline is tight, but it's moving forward, so.
What are we targeting to shoot the gun off on the TIF?
By the end of the year.
End
So
of
we
the
can
year?
start fresh with fiscal.
And this has to be in place 90 days ahead of time.
By the end of the,
Yeah, it is
cal-
in place.
by the end of the calendar year or the
Yes.
fiscal year?
Calendar,
Calendar year.
Did I
calendar.
say fiscal? I'm sorry.
No, you didn't, you just said, I was just.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
It's good you have interest.
Yeah, we did.
That's great.
One of the nice things, we got a lot more, we found out who a lot of the residents were through parking, so I was able to contact them,
Mhm.
and be like, hey, are you interested? And, I think after the last mailing I did, 6 or 7 more came in, so
Mhm.
it's exciting.
great.
Everybody wants to be a part of it, so,
Yeah,
I think it's a testament to just how interested people are in the growth of our downtown. 'Cause
and
they
we
wanna be a
need,
part of it.
we need 9 people.
We do need 9.
Right.
Yep.
And, well, it is premature, but I'm interested to how this is gonna work. you know, I mean, you know, frequency of meetings, what the discussion is. I think we need to make it very clear to this group what their authority is or not, probably more importantly.
Is there anyone on
Uh,
the DDA on that committee?
No.
No.
Okay.
And who, you know, who runs it, how often, what's the discuss, you know, all those kinds of things, because I think it's very important that there's a clear, you know, a clear mandate or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it, how this is going to function, because you're right, it's very new. This is something that can, you know, kind of get off the rails,
Yeah,
I think fairly quickly, but.
I think
yeah.
everybody I've spoken to have just said, you know, it's an advisory
Sure,
committee.
sure.
You're, how I kind of said it, at the commission meeting is the citizen advisory group will kind of advise the DDA on what their thoughts are on
Right.
how the TIF should be, you know, on projects, the TIF
Yep,
funding
yep.
can come through, and then you guys recommend to commission has final approval. So it's strictly an advisory. There's no,
Yep.
I don't want to say authority, but there's no real authority. It's just input. It's an
Yeah,
input.
no,
council.
understood,
So,
understood.
No,
No, I think,
they all,
you
Good
know,
way to take the pulse of the,
yeah.
yeah,
of the folks.
Kelly,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think
it's-
the problem is us all understanding that. I think,
What?
I don't think the problem is us all understanding that. I think we're very clear on that. I think it's just important that this group understands it. And then we have you know, an approach, how often they're going to meet, who's going to chair that, you know, how do we collect the input, where does it go? You know, all these, you know, just the mechanics of how that works. That's,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, obviously I'll be involved with it.
Sure.
A lot of that is to be seen. I think once we have once we have the 9 members in place, we'll meet a couple times just to lay the groundwork
Sure.
and expectations and explain, you know, the
Okay.
tip. I mean,
Yeah,
we
right.
explain the tip, but just
Yep,
getting
yep,
everybody
yep,
up to speed. So
for sure.
that's how I'm forced.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Yep.
that sounds good.
I guess I just want to, I don't know if we have an answer to this. This is mandated by this process through the
Right.
state essentially. And is this more like checks and balances things that we have a voice of the residents? Like, I guess I'm curious, like what exactly will they be discussing in these
yeah.
meetings?
It is mandated by the state because we have over 100 residents in the downtown area, most of whom are at the Whitcomb. So the Whitcomb is in the DDA district,
Yeah.
so that bumped up
Drives the
our
number up, sure.
population, which is great. It's just so I think there's a resident voice with how the tax increment dollars are being used. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have more input on
Yeah.
that?
Because we're doing something specific with the money in that area, they want the residents to have a voice in how it's spent essentially, or what's going
Yeah.
on? Okay.
I think so. The legislation or the guidance is not clear.
Yeah.
Other than if you have over 100 residents, you set up this advisory council. And so that's what we're gonna do.
Right.
I think it would be wise for the DDA to think about how we might seek their guidance, right? If
Like
there
what
are
would we benefit from this
questions-
group?
Sure.
Yeah, if there are
Mhm.
questions the DDA might want to send to that advisory board,
Yeah.
advise us on your preferences
You know,
on,
could-
you know,
could-
X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, could we have
Um,
I don't know, a non-member liaison or something on this group, or? I
I
don't know,
think-
I don't know what the rules
I
are,
think
how
that's
specific
Kelly.
they
That's
are.
Kelly,
Right,
yeah.
Kelly will staff it
Yeah,
and
sure.
she'll be the go-between.
Yeah.
And certainly folks from the advisory board might be interested in sitting in on DDA meetings or coming
Yeah,
and
sure.
presenting at DDA meetings. So still, like Kelly said, to be figured out a bit. But we'll start by finding the members and appointing them and educating
Sure,
them.
sure.
And then we'll figure out how to make this as useful as possible.
And would these meetings, that'd be public meetings, right?
Yeah.
So anybody, I mean, we could attend, yeah, so, yeah.
And will the majority of the people on the committee come from Whitcomb, since that's majority,
No.
or just?
No, go ahead.
I've got 4, I have not followed up, but when I presented at the Whitcomb, there were 4 residents interested, and then there are 9
Okay.
non-Whitcomb.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know,
Others.
like, others, that are interested, so.
All right.
The philosophical idea behind this is that if you're in, because the law is for everyone. Is that if you're in the downtown development area that has 100 units, well, then obviously it's not really a downtown. It's a downtown that has residents.
Sure.
So that's why they're trying to give the people that might be affected by what might be done
Sure.
a voice. The particular situation that we have, as Deb just pointed out, the only reason we're over the numbers is we have the Whitcomb Hotel there. And I'm glad to hear that at least 4 people are interested.
Yeah,
but I
sure,
don't think, but
sure.
again, we're gonna have 9 other people, more than twice. We have more than twice the people outside the Whitcomb who are going to be advocating for something that they think is appropriate downtown.
Sure.
And the only reason we have to even listen to the people in this particular fact gathering thing is because we have all the people in the Whitcomb. And so therefore, with this, we need to be mindful of where everyone's role is and what everyone's doing and in the different, and
Sure.
how the weighting of what might come out of this group
Yeah.
might be affected because they all live over here, whereas what caused us this requirement is all the people that live over here.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. No, that makes sense.
It'll be an interesting, it'll be an interesting process.
will.
and certainly
Well, I mean, it's something new for us. I mean, we have to kind of feel our way around it, I would guess, in
Well,
terms of how it functions and operates.
Do we have a head count of residents downtown who are not
In the district?
residing at the Whitcomb?
You're saying in the district when you say
Yeah, in the
downtown?
downtown.
In total,
I
in
mean,
total.
roughly, just most of it came from parking.
Would you estimate it's 50 or?
How many are at the Whitcomb, roughly?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That sounds
Roughly.
about
Yeah.
right.
Just a reminder, guys, to use your microphones
Oh,
because we're recording.
mine's on.
Got that on for you.
Thank you.
I wanna.
All right.
I'd have to double check and see how many mailings I did. But just curious.
Well, it's fluid a little bit, right?
It is a
I mean,
little fluid,
you know,
but there's, we only sent them to actual residents, not anybody with short-term rentals or that,
Yeah.
so
Right.
I can get that information.
I was just curious.
It does make sense to have it because, if you look at the makeup of this board, I think only 2 people live downtown on this board. Right? The rest of us own businesses within the district. And I could be wrong about the 2, but
But one for sure.
I do.
I don't, I think it's
I
only
live on
one.
the DD.
I'm
Yeah.
neither one.
well, anyway,
I think
so my point is, and I have one, is owning a business down here is very different than living
No
down
question.
here. And
No
so
question. That's
it's
right.
good to
That's-
get the input of those who live down here.
No, that's
So-
fair. No, I think the concept is, it's the execution, right? How does it work? How does it get managed? All of that
Well,
good
and I
stuff.
think that
So,
education piece is really important.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
we've had a little bit of a briefing on this TIF and the requirement. But it's, like you said, it's not really black and white. It's a little ambiguous. So I think the more education we can provide, and as important it is for us to maybe attend those meetings once in a while, it'd be great to have something set up where either we meet jointly or we encourage them to attend as many DDA meetings because they'll learn a lot from
Mhm.
attending our meetings as well. So
Who's going to be participating in the interviews besides the Michael and Michelle? Is there going to be, Kelly will be on that too? Okay, great. So you feel like they have an understanding of what we're doing with this, or do they need to be briefed on that?
The commissioners?
Yeah.
I think we're in contact because we're also doing the DDA interviews
Right.
also. So I've just kind of laid the groundwork a little bit like, hey, we need to do this. So we were actually emailing this morning about just if it's going to be phone interviews or how we're going to set that up. But yes.
So you gotta get this done,
Mhm.
by September, something, right? Because you got.
I would hope so, yeah.
October, November, December.
Yep.
90 days, roughly.
I think the 90-day. We think the 90-day clock started last week.
Oh,
when
once
the
you put it in place.
commission
Sorry,
Created
sorry.
the committee.
Okay, so
So
that's,
the 90-day clock is ticking. But by the end of that 90-day clock, we'd like to have a
yeah, I
you know,
got you.
functioning board. So hopefully we'll have that in place very soon.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. Well, thank you for that update. Let's see, next, the DDA liquor license update. So
Yes.
Kelly, I think you're
Yep.
again in your court here.
Yep, so, commission also, on the 28th approved the DDA liquor licenses. I've been approached by 4 different people that want them, 2 for sure. And we're just gonna keep moving forward. I think how I foresee this going is the commission will approve their application, so to speak, with with the city. And then once commission says, yep, they can move forward in the process, it's all up to the business owner and the liquor commission. There's a lot of
paperwork.
a lot of, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
right.
hoops, but a lot of paperwork to
Yeah,
go through. That
yeah.
sounds better. You know, but as far as the city's concerned, our side of things, like we've got the right amount of development, the right dollar amount of development. Gosh, what else was there? You know, everything the city needed to be a part of.
Got to be a map and there's
Yeah,
some other
we've
things,
got,
right?
we've got the
right,
map,
right, right.
the dollar amount and everything and the approval, the resolution from the commission.
Just documentation,
Yeah.
I think, 'cause I'm familiar with this process, sadly, but yeah.
Yeah,
a little bit,
but then
yeah.
you know, the businesses that want one of these licenses, they have to prove that they did or they searched for
Right,
all this. They have to have $75,000 in development or
Invest-
proposed
investment.
capital
Yep,
investment.
yep.
Their business, and it's a lot.
It's quite
so
quite a
hopefully-
bit of paperwork, actually.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of paper.
but
And-
there's nothing overly onerous about it. It just, there's a lot of information to collect about, you know, what you're doing. This issue of soliciting, one of the things you have to do for this is you actually have to solicit the available licenses in the county.
Mhm.
And to make sure if they're available for sale, you have to kind of conclude why you wouldn't do that. And the reason mainly you wouldn't do that is the price, right? Because this license costs $20,000, and if you go to the open market, who knows?
Yeah.
It'll be 80, 90, 100, whatever.
They're
So,
currently running just shy of 100, I think.
yeah, there you go. So that's a legitimate, rejection of an available license. So my experience with this guy, actually went through this exercise, is most of them, these people are gone. You send out letters to these people and they come back, undeliverable and no longer at that address, all kinds of stuff. So that was my experience when I attempted to do this. But anyway, so we're ready to go on this, basically, and now the ball gets put into the individual businesses' court at some point for them to kind of pick it up and complete paperwork and go through the exercise.
My expectation, I won't be here for the August 11th commission meeting. My expectation, is that there will be at least one that I'll bring to commission on the 25th. So
Okay.
hopefully, maybe
Great.
two, but one, I'm assuming for sure.
Well, that's a great,
That's
it's
good.
another tool in the arsenal, right, of development, right?
Yeah, and
Having
it's-
this available makes it much easier, huh?
Yeah, it shows that, there's interest in the downtown and growth and, I think it's exciting.
Yeah,
So commission has to approve each one of these individually.
They just have
Yeah.
to give their support. The liquor commission approves
But
them.
didn't
There's
we
a,
already
there's a resol,
do that?
so you approve.
No, you have to do the individual business that's now applying for the
Yeah.
license, not just
Program
the
is good,
general.
but now we
You
want to
ap-
make sure each one is something that we want to see in our downtown.
Yep.
Okay.
You
That's
approve
right.
the district.
Mhm.
Basically saying, yes, this is a development district. You have to do a resolution, which I have a template for. So just saying
right,
like, Tom's Hotel wants to have
Yep.
a liquor, one of these liquor
Yep.
licenses, and then we'll get everything to those businesses once commission approves them, when they approve them, and then
They have a
it's all in
pretty-
their
You
hands.
you guys have to do if somebody went and got one on the open market, they have to bring it to the city commission.
Right.
One
It's
individual.
not, that portion of it isn't different. That's something the liquor commission,
Mhm.
you guys all do.
yeah, this is just a special avenue to get to the same place effectively,
Mhm.
but theoretically easier, I don't know,
From the
maybe
liquor
not.
commission point of view, you have to do the exact same steps to get a liquor
Yeah,
license.
that's right. You still have to be approved and,
But it
background
makes,
checks and
it
all that.
makes them available.
That's right.
Which they wouldn't be otherwise, or
Well-
I assume they wouldn't be
Well,
just because of the population.
yeah, because of
Yeah,
numbers and what
right.
have you, and this is the problem in Benton Harbor, actually, is they're kind of tapped out, and so they're trying to use this avenue for that.
I
So,
see. Okay.
Yeah. All right, very good. Thank you for that. That's very exciting. So it's nice to see we have interest in that and for new activities. Terrific. All right, next update is the DDA interviews. So we have one open slot at the moment. Hi, guys. Come in, have a seat. We have one open slot at the moment, and tell us where we are. We've got a plethora of candidates
Yes.
interested in this joint, why, I don't, I have no
know.
idea, but.
After years of begging.
Why they'd want to do this, I have
You guys
no
are so
idea.
cool. Everybody
But
wants
we
to
have
be
a
in the
lot of people
club.
interested. All right, go ahead.
So I literally just got an email from Abby. It's looking like next week we're gonna try to get interviews done. I believe there's 9 people interested.
9
so-
candidates,
One
okay.
spot.
For one spot, unless you so choose to expand.
Heavy
The
competition.
same 9 that are going for the TIF group? No.
Oh.
Nope. I don't think there's any crossover actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep, we're gonna try to knock out those interviews. It looks like next week, according to the email I just got.
Next
so-
week. I know this is, I feel sorry for Abby. This is hurting cats. You have
Yeah, it
9
is.
candidates and 3 interviewers.
Yeah.
Good luck, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you
Mhm.
know, trying to
Yeah, 4. yeah.
juggle all that together. I feel for her. She's made a few runs at this, but it's
Do
not.
you have, Tom, you're on that interview
I
panel.
am. I
assume.
have the luxury of being.
Do you have, a specific criteria you're kind of targeting for the
Yeah,
DDA
so
member?
interesting. Yeah, so kind of as a criteria as much as just kind of feedback from these individuals. So I threw out a few kind of questions or
Mhm.
things that we would want to get some feedback on. And I kind of threw it out to the group and seemed to get a positive response. Tell us about your reaction to parking and what do you think? How might you improve that? Things like that. What do you think about development? How important do you think that is to us? What can we be doing right or wrong? I can't remember the exact wording. I could look it up, but so that's kind of to get a feel for where people's heads are on these kinds of things. I think what you're asking more about too is, background, business owners, maybe, former business owners, or if they have property in the area, kind of how do we fit that in with our, current makeup? I think all that needs to be taken into consideration, but yeah.
Yeah, I've had several people approach me who I have put their name in for the
Yeah.
position and, I think particularly, somebody who has a business on State Street, I think that would be, important. Brian, you represent the street as well as I do as a resident rep, but,
Never realized how many.
I think with
Person I
everything
knew
recently
once, they-
that's gone on, I think that would be an
Yeah.
important voice.
Yeah, I think it's, getting the appropriate diversity of
Yeah.
of background and, and I think we're in pretty good shape right now, but certainly if we add at least one individual, we'll improve that. And if we decide that, oh no, let's add maybe a couple more, we probably make that even better. But I think our idea was, hey, let's look at the candidate pool we have. Let's look at their experience, background, interest, ideas, and then we can make a decision whether we'd suggest that we ought to add a couple more people to the group here.
If I were on the interview committee,
Sure.
for me, the single most important criteria would be if you can understand what their motivation is.
Yes, yeah.
I could very well see somebody, they have one agenda item.
Yep.
And turns out we do a lot more than that one thing.
Right.
So that's,
Yep.
to me, I always want to know why do you want to do this?
Yeah. And yeah, I think in the stuff I put together with
Yeah,
that's the party. It's
Yeah,
a really good question. I mean, it's right now, I suspect,
Some number?
Yeah. Well, no, I
Oh.
was thinking that the high number of candidates we got for this position is driven in some part by, recent activities. I just think that's the case. So, because I recall when I applied for this the last time, it was like, will you do this kind of thing?
Yeah.
I think.
So I think we're in a little bit different situation. So it's a fair point. I mean, if you're really interested in helping us, move the downtown forward, then hey, great, and whatever that includes, whether it's, parking or development or fixing the streets or whatever it is. So
Yeah, I think part of just why we have so many candidates also, well, recent events, as you said, but also just the awareness, as Emily and I have done our downtown,
Mhm.
Sure,
business
sure.
interviews or meetings. We've literally handed everyone an application and said, if you
Yep.
want to
That's
be
Yep,
involved.
yep,
Great.
So I think it's just the awareness of
Excellent.
like, oh,
Yep.
we can be a part of this. So it's
Yep.
this communication thing we're working on and, um,
I think,
well, I mean,
Yeah.
just our getting it out there and
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I guess I didn't put that, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Just getting it out there that you can be involved. This is not a
Yeah.
exclusive
I think-
club,
I
so-
think
yeah, I
that's
think
right.
we've all kind of.
Wait a minute, I was told this wasn't.
Seen that.
I'm sorry,
you know,
no, I just burst Brian's bubble, sorry.
the bright side of, everything that we've experienced over the last few months is it's gotten more people in the community engaged, where everyone was just kind of on cruise control and no one was paying attention, obviously. And, now everybody is, which is great. That's what we want.
Yep,
That's what-
that's
And
right.
I've made that clear and, in the meetings I've had is like how excited, good, bad, whatever, how excited I am at the involvement with people,
Sure.
residents and I mean, I don't know before I started in December how commission meetings were, but there's a crowd now.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
there's an awareness and the involvement,
All right, very good. So we'll hopefully we can orchestrate the interview process here.
she's
No-
working on it.
No small task.
Yeah.
We'll get that orchestrated
I
and.
just have one little quick item. I
sure.
think I've mentioned this to you, Kelly, but I would love to see an aggregate report of your interview information you're compiling for the business owners at some point. I know it'll take a while to put together, but I think that'd be really good data moving forward.
Not a good story. No, I'm sure it's not. I look forward to hearing it.
Okay. Oh, it's just some of us were not in tune. All right, great. Okay. Let's see, next, perfect timing by our friends from the Rinks Group who are, we're honored to have you here this morning. Peter Rinks and Terry Malloy are here from the Rinks Group to give us a little bit of an overview of the Marquette project. So, gentlemen. If you have a handout, we'll take that. And if you want to walk us through that, that's fine.
You want us?
You want to sit here maybe? It might be easier. We'll get the mic stand here and yeah, this is being broadcast to 73 countries around the world. Armed Forces Network.
No one's watching it. but
Yeah,
it
no-
is being
no.
broadcast.
It's live to
watching.
the internet.
Our audience of two probably.
My mom is logged in.
There you go,
Oh.
there you go. That's right.
As
That's
I don't
right.
know if
should be.
Counts as an.
The most important person.
All right, gentlemen, we're very excited about this project and very interested to hear what you have to say. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, great. So you got this in front of you. Feel free to flip through it. I might refer to a couple pages as we get started, but I have to think you've seen some images and heard some things about it. And what we wanted to do was we're on a walking tour, trying to educate local leaders and make sure people understand what we're trying to do and the intent behind it. And there's a lot of people talking, and so our goal is to arm you with the facts and answer any questions you might have about it. So a little background about myself. I started TRG 6 years ago. Before that, I was in solar development, where we developed large solar farms all around the country. We did a couple of the largest in Michigan. That was back in like 2014, 15, 16, big one for Michigan State University, and then also for DTE Energy next to Flint. And that project was $100 million solar project. And so I went to school for architecture. I got my MBA at Notre Dame, and really, I've always loved real estate development. And that was kind of the dream when we started TRG 6 years ago. And I grew up in Edwardsburg, Michigan, and St. Joe has always been kind of my vacation spot. We didn't grow up in a wealthy home. We didn't go on cruises or go to Florida or anything like that. It was a weekend to Silver Beach, and we knew to park, up top on the bluff, for free. And then walk down to the beach, to avoid paying for parking, but, this is kind of my little parking joke.
I thought it was funny.
Been a lot of jokes
Got a
about
couple-
parking
Oh,
of
yeah.
late, that's right, yeah.
So, but this isn't about parking. It's about changing and embracing, what a beautiful town, St. Joe is, and, taking it into the future. And so to go specifically about the project, here we go, we've got it on the screen now. Just go to the pretty pictures. I'll talk through the details.
Yeah.
Slides. So in front of you, if you look at the executive summary, page 4, and then on the screen, you've got pictures. There's 68 upscale multifamily apartments, and then there's gonna be 32 luxury condos. There's gonna be a courtyard with a roof deck and green space. That's about 6,400 square feet. And then there's gonna be about 12,000 square feet of ground floor retail space. Right now, the conversations are that that'll probably be all restaurants. 2 anchor restaurants, and then hoping for coffee cafe and another ice cream gelato spot would be ideal to fill the retail space. And then the goal is 180 parking spaces underneath the, in a 2-level underground parking garage. Our agreement with the city is for 157 parking spaces. That's a really important, hot item to wrap our heads around. The city's requirement for each unit is 1 parking space per unit. So there's 100 units total. So we are required by the city to do 100 unit parking spaces at a minimum. We're purchasing the city-owned parking lot, and that has 57 parking spaces in it currently. And so the other requirement is that we replace those 57 public parking spaces. So at a minimum, we're required to build 157 parking spaces with our project. Our goal is to get as many as possible. We want this to be a net positive, an increase, but the engineering hasn't been completed yet. So we don't know if it's gonna be 157 that we're required to, or 220 would be awesome. It's very cost prohibitive the deeper you go. So the first level of parking is, call it $25 a square foot. That second level of parking is like $50 a square foot. And the third level underground is like $100 per square foot. So we really don't want to go 3 levels deep. That's cost prohibitive. But how many can we get in those 2 levels underground? Well, the city lot's 57. The lot adjacent to it is the exact same size. So in theory, you should be able to get 100 cars every level down. So we would love to get 200 or more parking spaces in there. We just can't say that yet. And that won't come out until later this fall.
Great.
Your drives and ramps are gonna take up some of
Drives,
those.
ramps,
Yeah, they're gonna take up a lot of those, yeah,
Correct. Take
Sure,
up,
yeah,
take
but-
up a lot of it.
yeah.
Can I ask a quick
Pile on what you
question
can.
on that?
Yep.
We're already getting feedback, obviously, in commission meetings about some of these things that people are hearing about. One of the questions is, that's a dune. People, if you dig deep into it, is it stable? Is there any research or anything that's been done to study the?
Yeah, so there's an existing soil boring report. I think it's 80 feet deep. Do you remember?
Bring it up, but, yeah, I think it tested way beyond that.
Yep, and honestly, it's ideal. It's sandy soils, which are like perfect for it. Once we go 2 stories, two floors underneath, we'll have to do shoring around the whole perimeter of it. And that'll be to make sure everything is stabilized. Going 2 floors deep is not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Think about other parking garages you've been in. I was just in Grand Rapids and I went 3 or 4 stories underground. And so, but the soils that are there are ideal for going deep. I don't think they hit water until they're more than 100 feet deep in the soil boring test. So
You had a project in Grand Rapids?
No, sorry. I was visiting. I went and saw Hamilton for my anniversary.
Oh, okay,
So,
all right.
Nice.
That's why I was in
Oh, okay.
Grand Rapids. But, yeah, so I guess going back to, again, like, why are we here? We want to make sure that, people are educated, they are informed about the project, and we do need advocates. So you guys, are definitely on the forefront of that, being representatives of the downtown. We want to make sure that, we've answered any of your questions, and then also, talk about some of the frequently asked questions. And so I'd love to go through that. I mean, I know you're flipping through this, and we've got some pictures of it, but I just want to run through some of those and talk about them. So we're reading the Facebook comments. We're feeling some of it from, the folks out there. So one of them is, it's going to block our views. That's one that's very, that comes up a lot. So we are seeking a variance, to go to 80 feet tall. By right, we can build 55 feet tall. If we were to build 55 feet, we would definitely block all the views from, State Street. There's 4 buildings currently with views, on State Street that, can see the lake.
Back up to you, yeah.
What's really important, and I'm proud to say this honestly, is we own 2 of those buildings that, we're blocking the views of. One of them is the condo above Fuzzy Butts. It's a very nice, condo that we use for Airbnb, short-term rentals. My family stays there. It's a 6,000 square foot condo. It's the biggest single, view that we're blocking, and we own it, and we're willing to block our own views for the greater good. Honestly, it was something, as I'm on the roof deck looking out over the lot, it's like, well, somebody's gonna build something here someday, and if they're gonna block our views, why not block it ourselves?
Sure.
The
Yep.
other one's the Rice Block Jimmy John's building. There's 7 apartments there. We own that building as well. There's a few small windows that currently, have, visibility there, and that would block. Then there's 2 other, condos. One, guy lives in, St. Louis. He's in favor of the project. And then another one, the owner's in Chicago, and he rents it, long-term to a tenant, and that's, sadly going to, limit their view. But, we hope that they'll move to the Marquette.
Yeah, there you go.
At some point, and, keep those views. At the end of the day, when you think about, blocking views, we're blocking 4 people's views, but we're adding 100 new views. And so that's important. It's kind of the greater good, mentality that, we're giving so many more people that view of the lake and the beach, and opening it up for more people to see it. Some of the other FAQs, it's too tall. We're going to be the 4th tallest building in St. Joe. Not the tallest, but the 4th tallest. What are the other? Whitcomb's taller.
Whitcomb's Liberty Tower.
Liberty Tower.
Lakeview Tower.
Yeah, Lakeview.
Well, and then
Tower.
the condos that are on the lake.
And then, the
Yeah, those are
condos
probably,
on
because
the
there's
lake
2 buildings there that would
Yes,
make 4.
that are taller.
Yeah.
Yep.
So can I just, this is also in the spirit of that I can answer questions. Tell me you're allowed to build how high right now? 55.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're gonna seek a variance
To 80,
allowed
yeah.
55.
And 80 is the max you can go with a special use permit.
To 80. And then
Yeah.
how many stories would that be? Because most,
7 stories.
thank you. Most people don't know that,
Yep.
Feet.
you know,
Yeah, right.
they just go, it's a 50-story building.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it would be 6 stories of apartments and condos.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
7 stories. All right. Thank you.
Going back to the condo apartment mix, the 68 apartments, the deal definitely looks better. If it was all condos, if you just made it all condos, full-time, vacation residences, whatever. But we're passionate about, the year-round stability of St. Joe. Like, we see the fragility of the restaurants and the shops and the, local business owners with no sales in the off months. And so, the 68 units are, full-time residences. Those apartments will not be allowed to be used for short-term rentals at all. That's a requirement. We're seeking a grant from the state of Michigan. That grant limits two things. It limits what we can rent those units for. It has to be within the area median income. And then, so it has to be affordable for a working professional, right? We haven't landed on what the right term is for that. It's not low income, it's not subsidized, but it is market rate housing, for what the state of Michigan defines as a working class. And the goal is that those 68 units will support the businesses around there and enhance the overall downtown experience for when people do come during the vacation months. Now, this is the really cool thing, though. Out of the 32 condos, I would say, I mean, we haven't even marketed them yet, but we have interest from 15, maybe even more, local residents, retirees that plan to move into this home and use it as their primary residence. And I think that would be a really cool story, because that's another comment we're getting a lot, is this is going to be Little Chicago. It's going to be filled with all Chicago people. I think it would be a really cool story if 90 or more of those 100 units were full-time St. Joe residents, which early indicators are that it would be that in fact. So,
I'm assuming the condos will be the upper floors.
correct. Those will
Yeah.
be the top three
Yeah.
floors. Correct.
Yeah.
What are some other thoughts?
Well, I think it'd be a good idea to talk about the TIF, and how the TIF works.
Yep.
And the relationship of the DDA, with the brownfield.
That's right. Okay, so first, education about how TIF works. So TIF is tax increment financing, right? So a project like this is going to add, in rough numbers, don't quote this, but it's going to add about $2 million of additional property tax revenue to the city of St. Joseph every year. TIF, we're working on a TIF agreement with the city, and that it's a brownfield housing TIF agreement with the city of St. Joe. And what that is, and the number will be made public, but it's gonna be $6 to $8 million of tax increment financing from the city of St. Joe. The city of St. Joe is not giving any money to the project that they don't have. And so that's really important, because what's gonna happen is we will pay the $2 million tax bill, okay? And then the city will reimburse 800,000 of that. The city won't ever give $1 that they didn't receive an additional revenue from the project, to help the project move forward. And so that's important, because when the total dollar amount comes out, people might say, oh, the city's writing a big check
Sure.
to the project, but that's not how it works. It's all out of the increment that's generated. And when you think about that increment, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I think both, half of that property right now is city owned, so there's zero tax revenue for that portion, and the other one is just a piece of grass. So it's tens of thousands of dollars are currently generated versus the potential to increase that to 2 million. There is an important role that the DDA is going to play in that part of it, because the goal is that increment will go to the downtown authority's tax district. And I think there's going to be some overlap. I don't know exactly how it worked before that district is determined and the TIF is approved. So there's going to be a time in the next month or two where the DDA is going to, what was the term?
Subrogate.
Subrogate.
It'll be an interlocal
There it is.
agreement between the brownfield housing district and the DDA.
Yeah, so effectively, so we've had a lot of discussion about the TIF.
Yeah.
This has been a topic of conversation of ours for a while now. And in fact, we just talked about it before your arrival here.
Okay.
About implementing that and putting it in place. So that's an important part of all our development efforts to begin to collect incremental growth, property tax revenue and bring it into the DDA so that we can, use it to make, investments into the downtown area. So I effectively, if I'm reading this right, what we're saying here is we're going to take a piece of that revenue, which a big part of which will come from this development, and we're going to rebate it, maybe not the right word, but we're going to provide that funding back to you to support this project because of its importance.
That's, I think that's generally right. I think technically speaking, the DDA will form the DDA TIF.
Right.
Which will have the same boundaries as the DDA. But then at some point, and I don't know all the technical.
Yep.
Stone, these two lots will be removed temporarily from the DDA TIF and moved over to the brownfield TIF.
Okay.
So the brownfield TIF will, be superimposed on top of it or something like that. So the incremental revenues that come in will be diverted to the brownfield
Right.
rather than to the DDA. And that is a portion of what makes this project go.
Right.
Leveraging the brownfield TIF and the brownfield housing.
So I guess my
Would
question
they-
would be, if we collect $2 million, just use these round numbers, if we collected $2 million and that went into the brownfield TIF, after
Yes.
diverting the 800,000 to this project, would the 1.2 million be available
So
to?
The brownfield authority will work with the Rinks Group.
Yes.
The brownfield authority will work with the Rinks Group to figure out what the brownfield TIF will look like. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the Rinks Group has requested a 10-year or has been thinking about a 10-year brownfield plan. The DDA has been talking about a 30-year TIF. plan.
TIF, right.
And so I think what would happen is the property would be pulled out of DDA TIF, moved over to brownfield for 10 years, and then would come back.
And
Or
who?
My question.
20 more.
Yeah,
That
so
was
the,
my-
so
that
the
was my
question, the
question.
question is who manages that money? I mean, who has the authority to drive that, that pot of money that will begin to build?
The
right?
1.2.
Yeah, the residual, right,
Correct. So that would go into the brownfield.
Right.
authority.
right,
And there's a brownfield authority
right.
who would
Okay,
make that sort of.
okay, so for 10 years.
We have an
that-
already established local brownfield
Yeah.
That
authority
was
board.
established.
So for 10 years, that funding, that piece of any, when we talked about the TIF, it's, again, it's a, incremental revenue that gets driven from future development from a point in time. So now we're saying January 1, for example, that we're going to kick this off. And any now, we have it says a carve out, if you will, for this particular project. So I understand that. So that's just something to keep in mind for us that, I guess, yeah, I mean, it's a big piece. I mean, so, the utilization of that funding, given for some period of time, it's not going to be available to us, 10 years, let's call it. That's a big issue.
But again, that revenue that you're foregoing for 10 years doesn't exist. So you're really not foregoing anything. This is the hope to finance it. I think the point that,
Wait a minute. No, there's going to be $2 million in taxes paid every year.
Yeah, but without the
when-
development, there's
when-
no
When
$2 million.
it's all done, that picture's.
Oh, no, I understand, but it's
How long
not,
does it take to get to that picture?
it's not going to take
1
them
year,
5
2
years to
years?
get to that. Yeah, a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
And we can talk about the timetable in a minute, but yeah.
The DDA will still have the opportunity to do our TIF within the DDA.
No
This is-
question.
This is just, like you said, a carve out for this particular piece. So this particular piece puts it into a different category of collections.
I
And
understand,
and all the
understand
government does
completely.
Is the government just gives back the money that the government collected from the people they gave the money to. So they give us all their money first,
No,
and then we give
cr-
it back to them. And if it's only 10
Chris,
years.
yeah,
I've never seen it. one that
Yeah,
only lasts for
understood.
10
I
years.
understand all that. I mean, I think the takeaway for me here is that there's going to be a piece of incremental revenue that will not be available to the DDA TIF
Until the term of the.
until,
brownfield
right,
expires.
which is 10 years. That's
correct.
a long time. I mean, you're talking about $10 million.
But it will be available to the brownfield.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, so then the discussion is, Emily, how does that get managed and, where do they, those,
Brownfield
yeah.
Authority is,
Sorry, guys, I've been
reestablishing-
getting off on a tangent here, but,
Brownfield
yeah.
Authority is reestablishing. It has been fairly dormant
Yeah.
for a number of years.
Who's on this, August
That's
group?
a great question.
You're leading it.
Yeah. Well, believe me, I would volunteer for that in a heartbeat.
Brownfield Authority's makeup is, my hope is that it will be changing a little bit.
Okay,
It's a 5-member authority. One of the members recently resigned in the last couple of weeks. She's got some health challenges and couldn't continue. Mike Gary, former mayor,
Sure.
is the chair.
Yep.
And the other 3 members are all city staff.
Oh.
Including me.
Okay.
Ben, our finance director, and Tim, the assistant
Okay.
city manager. And I would like to both replace the city members as well as potentially expand the board. And
okay,
so we brought in Lisa Vandenbrink. We was awarding a contract with Lisa Vandenbrink to support us on the Brownfield Authority. They're really expert in this space.
sure.
So they'll be guiding us. One of the first things they're gonna do is look at city policy, look at bylaws. And think
Sure.
through how we
Okay.
might change.
Well, this is obviously going to become critical, so we're,
It is.
we'll,
And so
we'll,
we're trying to get all of our ducks in a row.
yeah,
But
understood.
I just want to reiterate one of the things I think Chris was saying, which is without the brownfield tip, I don't think the project goes. I won't speak for the ring
Yeah,
group
yeah.
on whether they've got other tricks up
Sure.
their sleeve.
Sure,
But without the removal from the DDA tip
Yes.
and moving it into the brownfield tip, I don't think there is a project.
it's part of the funding package, I
It's part of
understand.
the
Yeah,
funding
yeah,
package.
understood. Okay, so,
Well, here's, without the brownfield housing TIF, the project only works as condos.
yeah, I got you.
Okay.
For funding
So
purposes.
you don't
yeah.
get the full-time market rate housing.
Right.
Yep.
And then it's just a different project, and that's not our goal. Regarding, what we're trying to accomplish and helping the overall downtown
Understood.
environment. If you look at a healthy ecosystem in a downtown, it's important to have both elements, the tourism and the full-time
Right.
residents. That's what helps the shops, that's what helps everyone thrive and balance together well.
Let's, we're respectful of your time. We appreciate you guys coming. Maybe give us, run us through a quick timetable here, kind of
Yeah, there's
where you
two
are
things.
now and,
There's two other
Where-
things,
yeah.
the timeline was one of them.
yeah,
The other thing's the design. So, we are getting criticism on the design. I completely anticipate that, and expected that. So, go back to the exterior pictures real quick. So I went to school for architecture. I'm passionate about it. I love touring, architectural cities. When you look at these pictures here, this fits into the category of classical architecture. And the downtown of St. Joe is full of classical architecture designs and examples. And so, we could go modern, we could go Miami. A lot of people want it to be red brick, because there are a lot of red brick buildings. What you don't realize is there's a lot of limestone buildings downtown. So Wanderlust is a great example. St. Joe Today is a great example. There are white brick examples downtown. There are light colored brick examples downtown. The renderings from Avonmarsh are a little washed out. If you look at that lower image on the screen, it's a little washed out. But if you look at the one on the upper left, that's a little bit more representative of what it's gonna look like as a full limestone hardscape building. And so that's what we're trying to hit, is those classical architecture tones, and then being very respectful of the beautiful architecture at downtown St. Joe. And so hopefully any of that criticism is redirected, that it does meet the style of architecture that is downtown St. Joe, and we want it to be beautiful. We want it to stand out. I think
I think it's important for all of us to recognize, and if you've done this before, not your first rodeo. There are people who are going to be against this. There are people who are against it.
Yeah.
Because it's change. And by the way, that we sometimes are called Saint No, and Saint No is not limited to the city government. And in fact, I would submit that it is more the general public.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you could make it all red brick, exactly like the YWCA was, and there's going to be some number of people who will, we're just not going to make them all happy. So, and I know you realize that, but
that's a great point.
I also would submit, you made the comment about the architecture downtown. I actually thought you were going to use the word eclectic.
Oh.
Because it is, you look at Wanderlust, and it's, I'm not an architect, but I think that's like neoclassic sort of.
Yeah, neoclassic.
Right. And
yeah,
then
right.
you've got, the red brick in some places, you've got a lot of limestone, and it's all over the board.
Yeah.
So one of the best comments, or I thought somebody said, it's going to be a monstrosity on social media. And a person, I have no idea who they were, responded and said, well, don't you think when the Whitcomb was built that it was considered a monstrosity?
Right.
And it probably, I don't know what, at that time, but there's going to be a number of people who are going to hate this. My own, and I'm a retired marketing guy, so I've done a lot of research with people. I think, as an example, the parking situation, I truly believe if you talk to people, about 20 to 30% were in favor of it, but just didn't say anything because they're in favor, 20 to 30% were indifferent to it. In fact, I think the indifferent number was higher. And then 20 to 30% were against it. Unfortunately, 20 to 30% were eating up 90% of the voice.
Right.
And so I believe that this will be the same. The numbers might be a little lower here, a little higher there, but it's if you truly went out and did actual, legitimate survey work, I think that's what you would find. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
I that's exactly what we're experiencing so far.
Yeah.
And I would say in general, on our walking tour has been nothing but support for the project. There's a little bit of the people that are behind their phones and writing Facebook comments.
And they're
we
gonna-
haven't met 'em,
Right.
honestly, and I'm not, I've tried to have a healthy skepticism about this whole project.
Yeah.
Can we get it through? Can we, get the votes? Can we? And it's just, everything is green light. Local business owners, this is a very bipartisan project, that it's getting people excited. It's got something in there for the entire community, and
Except me, because I own a coffee shop right around the corner.
well,
But-
and
And that was a joke.
in there.
That was a joke.
But yeah.
No,
we did-
I mean, anytime there's more people downtown, whether
it's a
I'm
good thing.
in that
Correct.
or
It's a
not,
good-
that's
it's a good
better.
thing.
Now all
Yeah.
ships rise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, right, that's
absolutely.
right,
And,
Brian.
and honestly, like, one of the most charming things about our condo downtown is the lake views.
Yeah.
But I believe that we increase that overall
Absolutely.
demand downtown, that it's not gonna hurt the property value in the long run.
Yeah. I can tell you that, I think you said it about the winter time, I am not profitable. And in fact, there are several months a year where I lose money, and I
Right.
suspect you're the
A
same.
little bit.
Got to get it all in the summer, or you ain't gonna get it.
Right,
And so,
right.
to spread that demand out is awesome.
Absolutely, and make it more of a destination year round,
Right.
a restaurant destination, a living destination. And then the other thing is, like, we hope this isn't a one-off, right? We want this to encourage and
Catalyst,
spur
right,
on and be
sure.
a catalyst
It
for
will.
even more developments. Let's see 300 new full-time residents downtown in the
Right.
next 5 years,
Yeah,
would be really cool.
If I could, I'd like to point out, several years back, the city of St. Joe would put together the master plan. Of course, the centerpiece of that discussion was, shockingly enough, parking. And what was really came as a strong point at the end of everything was, St. Joe doesn't really have a parking problem. The biggest problem that we have is our parking is poorly placed, and that we have parking lots on the prime real estate
Yep.
in downtown St. Joe. Where all these parking lots are is where developments should be, where your restaurants should be, where your apartments and condos and living should be. That is, the parking, if at all, should be moved underground would be great. And, to me, this project does seem to really hit a lot of the points that were made, in the master plan that was put together a decade plus ago. But, and so when I saw this project, I was very excited about it. I think it's, I think it's great. Obviously, putting a bathroom on the bluff is going to get protests.
Yeah.
So it's nothing is going to make everybody happy. But I think this is a very exciting project, and I agree. I think that this could be a catalyst to drive more investment into the downtown, more growth. It's just going to be a matter of how that's managed.
And I would say, so 6 years ago, we bought the Jimmy John's building. And I've been very in tune with local politics of St. Joe. Just wanting to do more, like genuinely love this town and spend a lot of time here. My in-laws live in St. Joe on Golden Bear Court. And we spend all our weekends here and a lot of random weeknights here. I live in South Bend, if I didn't say that already. But watching very closely the local politics of St. Joe, and people ask us, right, why now? Nobody's ever been able to make anything happen on that piece of property. Why now? What is and it's honestly, the local government here has never been healthier, with Brooke and Emily and Kelly and the rest of the council members. And it's exciting to see the future, being on the cusp of the future of St. Joe, and opening up the doors to new developments and new ideas and fresh projects. And we're rooting for the Harbor Shores project with Chris Cook and Pam Klein. And that will be a great addition to be able to say multiple things are going on. There's other development opportunities in the works to increasing housing and hospitality. And so it really is the healthiest the community's been in a long time.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Deb.
Let's,
I do have another, this is a big project. Would you say that this is the largest project that TRG has approached at this point?
100% the largest thing TRG's ever done. Now, Terry and I combined have done hundreds of millions of dollars of other developments in our former careers. But this would be the largest thing TRG's ever done.
With that being said, how confident are you in your construction estimates as far as cost?
Yeah, so let me tell you about how we view that, right? So being the fact that we're leading this charge, we've seen other developments and led the charge of developments this size and this large. What's really important is that your team is strong.
Sure.
And so when you look at page, what page is that on? Where it gets to like our legal team, our tax team,
Sure,
our
yeah, yeah.
designers, our
Yeah.
architects, our builders. So we've got Avonmarsh as our local leaders in terms of a multifaceted engineering outfit, architects, engineers, structural, civil, all of that. Krugel Lawton, again, they're really great with the tax strategy and helping with the pro forma, and making sure that everything is layered in there properly. George Lepinitis is leading the legal efforts from Creek Vault. He's a Stevensville resident and very passionate about St. Joe as well. And then the page before that, 38, we plan on working with Horizon Construction Group. They're a top 50 national general contractor. They build 20,000 new units a year. And so they're building a lot around Notre Dame right now. And so very quality construction group, as well as has the capacity, and they can point to the 50 other projects that they've built like this. They have given us a very good construction budget for the project, making some assumptions on the finishes and the quality, because the designs aren't completed yet. You know,
Sure.
The drawings are. So what we do is we take that budget and we put 10% on there. And then actually, don't tell those guys, but we put another 10% on top of that, because we do want to improve the finishes of the space beyond what I know that they've budgeted for. You know, we want to make sure that, you know, the common spaces are very nice and luxurious, and
Yeah, the pictures look
finishes.
great. How accurate do they tend to be with their estimates?
Very good. So
Historically?
yes, so then we've networked with other developers in South Bend that are working with that group, and references and the initial budgets. They're you know, have a good track record of
That's
being
important.
close to that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's very
Yeah,
important,
absolutely. So we do feel good with the contingencies that we've layered in there, in addition to the early budgets that we've gotten for the
Cool.
project.
In an ideal world, when would you break ground and when would it be finished?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
maybe, maybe we can use that as a way to kind of button this up a little bit. Let's go through the timetable. I think there's a,
Yeah, there's
Maybe
a
you can give us
timeline on 14.
give us a kick run through that, Peter,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
So, you know, loosely, what you see in front of you is that we'd like to break ground in the second quarter of 2026. That would be like May, June timeframe of 2026, breaking ground, and then completing 2 years into it. And that would be construction completion, not a rolling opening. So there might even be some condos available before then, and some apartments available a little bit before then. I'm more concerned about everything between now and that Q2 26.
Yeah.
We're working very closely with the city. We're pushing Emily and Kelly almost daily for when is this happening? When is this happening? There's some important city council meetings coming up where we are trying to finalize the purchase agreement for the parking lot. That will probably be our next big council meeting, maybe towards the end of August, where that will go to a vote to the council members to finalize the purchase agreement. It doesn't finalize the sale, it just finalizes the terms of the purchase agreement. And then the next big city deliverable will be the Brownfield, the TIF agreement, which we're aiming for mid-October, getting that through council. And those two things coming together from the city's end help us on the back end with the financing, the engineering, the raising the funds, and the bank. And bank conversations, let me just tell you, they are super excited for this project. There's tons of interest. There's 8 banks that have reached out to us. They all want a piece of it, or to take the lead on it. And and for the investor side of it, for raising the equity portion, a lot of great interest for that as well. It's almost like easier to raise money for a $50 million project than it is for a $5 million project, because but I also believe that there is so much pent up demand for St. Joe to finally do something, that the interest levels, people that are, we haven't, like, there's no sign out there. There's just been a couple things, and people are finding us, right? Like, they're submitting emails and tracking us down and calling us, and I want a condo, I want in, when's this happening? And it's really exciting to be part of it.
Great. Well, that's great. That's just, we really appreciate all the information you provided. I'm sure there'll be lots of opportunities down the road to have additional discussions,
Yeah.
about the project and what's going on. I know the city's got things that they're working on. You guys are, working on the financing side. I know that's no easy task, but, it sounds like we're making great progress.
Put the DDA on the spot, but I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I know when there's been talk of development on that lot previously, the DDA, made a motion to
Sure.
offer support. I think Peter's timeline is right. We are aiming for a purchase agreement for the.
Yeah, thanks, Tara. I think I have one.
ideally
Thank you.
second
Thank
meeting
you.
in
Thank
August.
you. Yeah.
I got you.
We actually,
DDA wants to have something on the record.
yeah, I think so, Emily. I think we had this discussion the last, kind of go round, to be honest with you.
Rick's got your number.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We had this discussion, I think, the last go round about doing this, and we thought we'd wait till these gentlemen were here. So
Yeah, that was the
I-
last meeting. So
I'm certainly, I don't know, I don't want to speak for everybody here. We can have some discussion about it, but I think in general, we're supportive of this project, and I think it would make sense to kind of go on record accordingly. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I would make a motion that the DDA support and give any,
Assistance.
lend
Yeah.
any assistance that we can as a DDA, which
Yeah.
I think is probably minimum.
I would
best,
say-
but- But
Second.
just as a,
Okay.
I would move that we
Definitely.
support the project.
Second.
Thank
for
you.
Ron.
That means a
Yeah,
lot to be able
yeah.
to say that.
Any other,
Um,
I don't know, any other discussion about this, we need
No,
to have? No?
let's do it.
Full support.
All right, so all in favor of that motion?
Somebody has to
Aye.
second it.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Oh,
No, it was supported.
It was-
Oh,
Robert,
sorry, I didn't hear
I
that.
just heard it in my left ear.
All in,
I started to say.
sorry, let me just close the loop on this legality. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
very good. So,
I have one
There may
silly,
be a moment where we actually write that down, with the MEDC, honestly.
Yeah,
So the
sure.
MEDC, asks for letters of support from
Yep.
community leaders.
I mean,
So
if you-
that is very important.
if you
Thank
need something from us, we can certainly prepare
Yeah,
that. So.
Great.
I have one last silly
Yeah.
FAQ question, which I
Okay.
know the answer to, but I want to, I assume the parking will be paid parking regardless of whether you're, so if you're a resident, you get a permit or
The
something,
public,
but if the
I-
public's
I don't
coming in
mind
for
going
2
on record
hours.
For it, unless the
Oh,
city
if-
wants to trump us or master lease the agreement, but as far as the project itself is concerned, the public element of the garage will need to generate revenue.
Agreed. I just wanted to, because somebody's gonna ask it.
Yeah.
So if the city
Might as well
wanted
ask
to
it
do
now.
like a master lease,
Yeah,
you know.
I understand.
then,
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
but otherwise it will need.
As-
to
as
generate
a-
some
You have to
Like I
maintain
said,
the
I knew
building.
the
You
answer,
gotta
but I
maintain that
wanted
parking
to
lot.
ask.
Yeah, yep.
We have public comment?
I was just gonna say, one thing we didn't consider is the location of the 2027 Beer Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly kidding.
Well, if you put it in the garage, now you'll be covered. I think that's the way that would work. All right, great.
Thank you.
We all got
You're on our
priorities.
Walking tour here coming up. Yeah, it's supposed to happen. Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate all the information.
Courtyard and green space.
We'll
That's
be,
second floor.
uh,
I saw that and I thought that was super.
We'll
cool.
look forward.
That was really cool.
We'll look
Thanks.
forward to
Thanks.
future development.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Good job.
Thanks for your
everyone.
time. We appreciate
Good
it.
meeting you guys.
All right, very exciting, very exciting. All right, what do we have here next?
Main Street.
I think, Kelly, you're up again with the Michigan Main Street program. I think we have a little brochure you've provided to us as well. Do you want to give us a thumbnail? No, it's all right. We got the,
All our online viewers need to hear you.
yes, right. Can we,
Peter's mom probably signed off.
She probably logged off.
do we have online viewers? Can we tell?
I don't have.
Oh, yeah.
Peter was joking, his mom was.
I've
All right.
had people tell me they log in every meeting. Good.
Wow,
Good.
wow, I feel like a celebrity.
I know you should.
All right, go ahead there, miss.
So, Emily and I
I'm gonna
had,
check how many participants are on.
okay,
All right, no,
Um,
it's okay, yeah.
One.
Yeah,
one, just us, just us.
Peter's mom.
a singleton.
Okay. Emily and I had a meeting with some people from MEDC the other day, just, to talk about Michigan Main Street. I am still learning about it also as I'm I think Emily is too, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. It's another tool to help development downtown, with assistance from the MEDC. If you look through this, you can see that if you've heard of Niles Main Street, in our region, it is, where am I at? Buchanan, Coldwater, Niles and Three Rivers. There's 4 different levels of participation. So I guess just a heads up, I haven't talked to Emily about this, but I would like to kind of pursue this a little bit more to get more information and bring
Sure.
it back to you, but
Sure.
I wanted to get this little bit of information in front of you. They offer technical assistance and there's commitments and there's, you need a director, which would soon be me. But it involves, they do match on main grants for businesses and it's just all this, it's another tool that we
Sure.
can use.
Sure.
We
Right.
don't have a lot of vacancies downtown, but I
Right.
think anything that we can do to draw more businesses downtown would be better.
Yeah.
And it's a good idea. So I, again, sound like I have not done a lot of research, but we literally just met with them last week.
mean,
So
It seems to me any resources we can take advantage of, particularly ones that provide funding.
Yeah, which
are-
this does.
Are,
And,
are exciting,
is it Whitney? The lovely woman who runs this program has offered to come and present to the
Ah,
DDA at a
sure,
future meeting.
sure.
So we'll have her.
Yeah, that would,
here
that would be
sometime
great.
soon.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from her. Cool.
But just kind of a heads up that,
Yep.
we're pursuing some
Good.
other,
Another tool in
other
the
avenues,
arsenal.
'cause
Yep.
why
Really good.
not?
Yeah, why
Nope,
not?
I like it.
So,
All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right, Kelly, do you want to kind of keep going there with some overview type stuff?
not a whole lot changed on the reports, from Lee from MEDC, yes. Lee from
The
MEDC.
what? I'm sorry?
The
Lee
girl
is-
from.
Oh,
Main
right,
Street.
gotcha.
That's okay.
So I was looking at this, the retail activity thing. I read something the other day that some, is it Slackers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that on here, but where, it's going in, which building is that?
The old
Slack-
furniture store,
Is
kitty
that
corner
not-
from Jimmy John's.
Truce?
Downstairs.
Truce
Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this is the
Where
one
our
where the
photography
spa
studios-
is? This is the one where they put the
Yeah.
spa?
Right.
So,
it's
yeah,
the- It's the lower level.
yeah, so this
Yeah,
was
sorry, that
interesting.
must have bumped off my map. I will correct that.
No,
Um,
well, I read this and then I looked at this and I'm thinking, wait, well, it's a recent thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on track to open soon, but yeah, it'll be, they're gonna have, I think, laser tag of some
No,
sort.
no laser
No laser
tag,
tag, that's
but
what
they're
the other
gonna
location-
have, some gaming thing.
Yeah.
So
Video
it's
games.
amazing how
Yeah.
popular. I have, my sons are like 37 and 40 and they still look at this stuff.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, they'll be excited that there's some store that's open.
Yeah.
That's one of these card,
Yeah.
I don't,
It's a
I mean,
big
way over
deal.
my head.
I th-
But anyway, interesting.
I think it's exciting because it's one of the things that I know Emily and I have heard in our meetings is that there's not enough downtown for young adults
there you
and,
go.
and
Yep.
early 20, the
Yep.
I think
mid-range,
it's great.
to do, and this will
Yeah.
be something.
That's great.
Yeah, that's
great. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I know they're excited. I know the owners, they've been working really hard to get it up and running,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'll
Do
touch
they have a
base with.
timeline when they're
I
open?
don't know for sure. I'll actually shoot her
Uh,
a text, today and
I
find
can't
out
remember
for
what
sure.
that said, the article. Late August? No, I may be wrong and I forget that. Yeah. Great. What else, Kelly? Anything else you want to highlight here? Well,
Deb, do you
let's-
have any updates on gelato or the
Gelato.
kitchen or?
Gelato, her contractor is not amazing.
Okay.
Is all I'm gonna say about that.
He's not amazing.
Um,
You can quote her on that.
I'll leave that off.
It is 100% on him, the slow pace that's going on. Nobody's more disappointed than she is
I
that she's
imagine.
missed this summer. But it's been a struggle for her. Kitchen is just working on a couple of details, but the Department of Ag permit was approved. And so he's just working out a couple of details to actually be operational.
The excuse my ignorance here, the kitchen is a new food, sort
Yes.
of outlet?
It's gonna
Yeah.
be a kind of a weird combination of multiple things.
Cool.
Always
I
there's
think
more
that's
food
great.
places
It'd be
out
nice.
But
there.
it'll be food that'll be open at night.
Yeah.
We're hoping that in the future, other food trucks and people will rent it out, do pop-ups.
Mhm.
Oh,
Cool.
So for a weekend or a week or
Yeah.
however long, whatever, an incubator kind of
Yeah,
kitchen.
yeah.
Very
It'll
cool.
be- It's
Yeah.
it's a fully licensed now,
Yep.
commercial kitchen.
Cool. Very cool. All right.
I am aware that, 5, and that's happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
How's-
they're under
that is
construction.
happening, okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
What is it? Do we
Uh,
know?
I don't.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say because I know who it is, but I don't know if they want it to be
Yeah,
public.
right.
so.
all right,
But
all right.
And then this is just I just noticed this, that, at Broad and Main, and I assume you're pulling this like off of Google Maps or something.
Mhm.
That says Edgewater Bank and it's United Federal.
Oh,
Credit
yeah,
union.
boy, that's,
It's
yeah.
not a huge thing, but
nope.
if somebody from United
Yeah.
comes in here, they might.
There's more than one misrepresentation on that.
Yeah, okay, I just happened to notice it as I was looking.
Oh,
I
yeah.
pulled this space map.
Yeah, you
and
I'm sure you
it's
did, yeah,
just
yeah.
been getting
Yeah.
updated ever since.
Yep.
I still call it Edgewater Bank.
Culinary cottage could be added.
All right,
Yeah.
okay, all right, good stuff. Lots of action. That's always a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
What else, Kelly? Anything else in the project list? And, we still, what was I gonna say? The, RRC certification
Yep.
is in the works.
Yep, we are, Emily and Kayla and I have been meeting on that and getting that buttoned up, for
Are we
review.
responding to questions from the
For both,
state? Is
yes.
that what we're doing? Yeah.
Yep, it's some fairly, I don't wanna say minor, but it's
Yeah.
nothing earth shattering. It's
Yeah.
just been,
It went on the shelf during parking.
Yeah, sure,
Now
of
it's back
course,
off the
of
shelf
course.
and then we'll
Do you,
hopefully
do you
get
think,
back on.
by the end of the year, this will be in the hopper? Great, that'd be a great thing.
obviously, as has been mentioned repeatedly, the wayfinding signs are in.
Yeah,
happy.
yeah, beautiful,
They're beautiful.
beautiful.
A lot of good compliments from it.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just in people in passing have been like, they're beautiful and,
They're
you
good
know,
looking.
so.
They really do look great.
They're good looking.
Yeah, I came in on the tail end of that and again, when I started, I'm just happy to, like, they're huge. We were standing next to one of them downtown and I was like, you don't realize like how big and how big of a statement they are. So I know, hopefully we've got, the only ones we didn't do out of that whole project were the three kiosks, I think, that were more of the, you
Mhm.
are here, more
Mhm.
Yeah,
um,
yep,
informational ones, and then
yep.
some welcome signs, cause those
Yep.
were really expensive, so
Mhm.
we'll look at that moving forward, budget wise.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I would like to put just on the DDA, there's a couple of prominent spots where the signs that are 40 years old now look really ugly. One of them being the parking lot right here that says City Hall here. Like, that's an old sign. I'm not sure why that one didn't get updated. There's
Where?
one right on Main Street. It says, like, it's a City Hall like arrow. And it's like, to me, it's such a prominent, and it's not a big sign. And then like over at the band shell, you've got the really old signs that
Mhm.
they're right next to beautiful brand new signs and
Remove
your
them.
eye goes directly to the really
Yeah.
old
Too many signs,
faded.
yeah, remove them.
And then my other, and I know they're probably big expensive ones, but down by Lookout Park, welcome to St. Joe. Like I drive by it 4 times a day. The wood, like it's 2 pieces of wood and the wood on this side is like this and this one's kind of like this. And they just look tired and old and it's the very first one you see. So if there's any way in our DDA budget or any of the monies that we have, there's some prominent ones that I think should get added to our to-do list sooner rather than.
I went and took pictures of the band shell one after you sent me that email.
Mhm.
I do think we put some money in the parks budget
Mhm.
this
Yeah, and then
year
all the parks
for
ones like Upton
those
Park and,
signs.
But-
Cause some of those are, some of the signs that we need to refresh
Yeah,
are not part of the DDA.
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So I know we are looking at that jointly with Greg to see what we can get replaced. And then the welcome signs, I do think are part of the DDA budget. It's just a question of making sure we've got the
Yeah, they-
funding.
Okay, so
and-
you should do the one that says City Hall.
They weren't part of the
Yeah.
wayfinding, project. They weren't part of the wayfinding.
I thought they were.
What?
No, the ones that she's talking
The
about.
park
no.
Van Shell and those
No,
were
okay,
not,
all
but
right.
we.
I thought the big
said-
welcome ones were.
They
The
are.
Like,
welcome ones were.
Okay,
And we had said from the beginning that we would want all of the park signs to take on the
consistent,
same look.
Right,
We had invited the
right.
Parks Board to be part of the
Mhm.
stakeholder
Sure.
group.
sure.
And so we just need to continue
Yeah,
that.
keep working through that.
There were
Okay,
2 phases to the signage, so,
Okay.
that's the kiosks and the welcome ones were phase 2.
okay.
So that's, yep.
all right. Okay,
Um,
anything else,
No,
Kelly? that
there,
we can-
I think the only thing to note on the, project tracker is that, the Pleasant Street resurfacing will be,
Ah, right.
it's a mill and, I know. Are you happy about that?
A little bit, a little bit.
That's, what's it, mill and resurface?
fill.
Mill and fill.
Mill and fill,
Um,
it's asphalt. huh?
When's that
Yeah.
happening?
fall.
Well, okay.
So, yep.
I'm assuming that's gonna be,
Couple months.
October-ish.
I would assume, yeah, I
Okay.
can find out for sure. I
I
don't
just
know
didn't know if we
for
needed
sure.
to plan on an early closing of the plaza. Cause the plaza
I don't
goes until the
believe
end of
so.
September, so.
No.
I can double check what the schedule
Okay.
is.
If there's, any adjustments, just let us know.
Yep, we'll find out for you.
Okay, let's see. All right, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Paul, anything you want to impart upon us here?
We talked about Duck and Block, we were ecstatic with the venue.
Yep, yep.
So, yeah, excited for now the fall and the holiday season.
Yep, yeah.
That was kind
Be
of
here
the last-
before you know it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
last summit of the summer.
Yeah.
We'll finish off kind of the more passive events, our markets and our concert series.
Sure.
We do have a sidewalk sale happening during Love Local weekend, which was the original intention of Love Local weekend. It was
Sure.
For that, the sidewalk sales that kind of fell off the map around COVID time. There's been some appetite from our business owners to bring that back, so we will have sidewalk sales. We have 18 businesses right now signed up to participate.
Oh, wow,
That
great.
is on the
Great.
is that the 16th, 17th, 18th weekend or 15th, 16th, 17th, whatever those team weekends.
Excellent.
Yeah.
of August.
15, 16, 17.
Great.
Um, is the pianos that are scattered around town, which people seem to really enjoy, I love
Yeah.
it. Is that your
No,
project?
it's not.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's Jim Kramer.
Oh,
So we'll leave it
okay,
at that.
okay.
What,
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
just-
me
they
too.
just-
Me too. People seem to be
yeah,
enjoying them.
that's right. I forgot
many
to
are
ask you
there?
about. There's like 3 or 4,
Five.
5 of them.
Wow.
It's
So-
fun to go downtown and like, and it's usually little kids, but some of them, like, I was walking by and I'm like, oh, that must be an adult.
So
There was
some,
little kid just, like, going to town.
Somebody just put them there?
Yeah, Jim Kramer has been looking on like Facebook Marketplace, finding pianos people wanted to get rid of.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
repurposing them in the downtown.
Spinette pianos are, I have one that I'd love to get rid of,
I
but.
was gonna
Uh-oh.
say, a lot of people,
Wow.
I'm not sure they're in tune, but I was
Well, yeah,
thinking
that's
you
right,
could probably get
They're out in the
somebody-
open. They're out in
maybe-
the open.
yeah.
You know,
They
I,
wouldn't
Right.
stay in tune.
No,
there
they
was
would-
one
yeah.
time in, my wife and I were in Traverse City and they had a piano sitting there.
Mhm.
And it's a
Same.
cool,
Same.
the cool thing. Okay, very good. Thank you, Paul. We have a couple of individuals in our audience. If it's time for public comment, if you give us your name and let us know what you'd like to speak about.
Yeah, my name is Jim Rowicki. I live in 207 Wayne, Channel Bluff condos.
Okay,
I'm also on the board of directors there, and I have two-part questions, two questions. One is more of an observation. There's a fair amount of gang graffiti in the downtown area. I don't have a lot of.
We'll pass.
that's
that.
all right. We can
share.
share. That's all right.
Share.
All right, we're good. Yeah.
I've seen a little bit.
I think we get the point. Yeah.
Yeah, that first one
Yeah, oh, it's,
is on the corner of Elton and State.
Mhm.
The white.
I apologize. I have a personal commitment.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Go ahead.
The white has been there for like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
The black is relatively new. The next page is a basketball post by, I think it's the First Baptist Church on Elm Street between Chicago and State. The next 2 pictures are dumpsters in the alley behind Silver Harbor.
Sure.
Mhm.
And then the other ones are dumpsters in the Cherry parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our building was tagged part of our building was tagged a couple of years ago. I did file a police report. If any of you take a boat out to Lake Michigan, when you go underneath the M63 bridge on the water side of the south pier, they're piling, there's gang graffiti. It's been there for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
I don't know why the Berrien County boat doesn't do something about it, you know.
Sure.
So I just like to point out that, you know, it'd be really nice if this stuff gets covered. You know, I know a lot of people from Chicago come here and you want to make them feel welcome, but gang graffiti, you know.
Right, right.
But-
Not the element, yeah,
Yes.
right. Not the element we want, right.
The other question I have is, there was a proposal in your plan of, putting in a bike and pedestrian walkway from the river through Pier 33. I just wonder if there's any update on that. I know, Alvin Marsh has drawn up some plans for it.
Oh,
It's outside of our. district.
yeah, that's kind of outside our area, but I think I know where you're talking, where it ends there underneath the bridge. Is that what you're talking about?
But we
Yeah.
just happen to have people,
City is exploring,
Yeah.
but not the DDA.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I just
Yeah.
saw it was part of your plan.
just so you know, the DDA has a specific boundary,
Okay.
Yeah,
which is
basically the
call it
downtown. area.
downtown.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's our purview.
Well,
Okay.
If it's
All right.
outside that, then it's the
Yeah.
city.
well, we appreciate you bringing this
Oh,
to our
yeah.
attention. I'm sure, you know, Emily and Kelly and Public Works and, you know, have these things on their radar amongst, their long list of things that
Yeah,
they're
no,
working on.
Oh,
but,
I appreciate you bringing that too. 'Cause
yeah,
I
no,
live
that's great.
Right downtown on State Street, and I've noticed behind our home quite a bit of graffiti.
Yeah, interesting.
Dumpster. There's a little bit on a side of a building, and I don't know when it was put there but,
And it also
and I-
could just be visitors.
you know,
Well,
and then
yeah,
do you
right,
cover it
right.
up, which encourages them to come
Yeah,
back
it's
and
a
spray more? I
nuisance.
don't
Yeah, it's a
know, but,
nuisance, yeah.
it's definitely out there.
Yeah, these things
Okay.
are kind of a nuisance, but we'll leave this, but thank you for bringing it to our attention. We appreciate you coming.
Yep.
Is there,
Sorry, I'm not here for public comment. I'm a reporter with the Herald Police.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, very good.
we'll
well,
listen to your comments.
Well-
Yeah,
if you'd like.
welcome. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you want to send your article to us, we'll take a
Yeah.
look at it, right? No. Okay, I think, any other board, comments? Anything, lots of activity, very exciting. We got things going on downtown. This new building project is very exciting, I have to say. I'm glad we were able to hear more about it. These gentlemen are very accessible. If anyone is, interested in more information, you can contact these guys directly. If you're interested in ponying up for the investment, they certainly wish to speak to you about that. If you are, let me know. I actually have a package I could send to you. So send me a note and I'm happy to send that to you. All right. So with that, we have a motion to adjourn.
So
So,
Don't move. Thank you. All right. We'll go from there. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time.